Welcome to the place that you want to show. It's funky Friday with a little go-go. We gonna give you something to phone, so we can reach it in and out, in and out, in and out.
Baby, come on now.
Friday, Funky Friday, Funky Friday, Funky Friday, Funky Friday.
Come on now.
Friday, Funky Friday, Funky Friday.
Come on now. Come on now.
You know I am, but it's got to be funky desire. Get on up.
Let's dance. Let's dance to the drummer's beat. Let's dance. Let's dance to the drummer's beat. Let's dance. Let's dance. Let's dance. Let's dance. Let's dance. Let's dance to the drummer's beat. Let's dance. Let's dance to the drummer's beat. Let's dance. Just get up, body, go see. Let's dance. Here we go. Stick it.
Dance to the drummer's beat, the objective in the rhymes from a body and soul perspective. You know, correct if it's from these lips. So much soul in the rhyme, I get rolling the hips. From side to side, while the drummer guides, acting the guidance. If I were you, I don't wanna hear no cants, just cheers and chants and odds and oohs. Never hear boos, 'cause you know who's on the case with a pretty face, itty bitty waist and gritty face, getting down to the nitty, 'cause I'm from the city and I'm from Chicago. I'm letting them all know that you're out to go when the drummers in real time. In a heartbeat, we'll rhyme together or separate, just as long as the beat is kept with body and soul.
Let's dance to the drummer's
Do
beat.
it, y'all.
Let's dance.
Get up and
Let's dance to the drummer's beat.
we wanna see you.
Let's dance.
There we go.
Let's dance to the drummer's beat. Let's dance. Let's dance.
Let's dance, you heard the band, so get with it. And if you're not, there's a door, hit it. This group was made for dance. The trouble comes in the beat, it's up to us to enhance it with some sheer poetry, body and soul style. Meanwhile, the groove is getting wild. We came here tonight to get loose. Got the red, the black, and the green. We got juice. The thrifty business with the feminine touch, but don't play us soft. If you do, you get crushed. The beat will take over your body and soul, and then body and soul will be in control. When it's over, you crave for more. So rewind your tape and you get 4 more minutes to dance to the drummer's beat. While the beat of the drums keep you moving your feet.
Let's dance. Let's dance to the drummer's beat.
Do it, y'all.
Let's dance. Let's dance to the drummer's beat.
We wanna see
Let's
you.
dance. Let's dance to the drummer's beat. Let's dance.
Let's dance.
Let's dance.
Moving more than your thing to this go-go swing, y'all. Get it, T-Bone.
Right here.
What's the beat now?
Your feet is back. Let's dance. Let's dance to the drummer's beat. Let's dance. Let's dance to the drummer's beat. Let's dance. Just get up, bust your seat. Come on, let's dance. Let's dance.
Come on, a little body for your soul. To add to the rest of TNT soul, to keep your body in step. A combination of hip-hop, pumping and non-stop. Gives the crowd a notion, from motion to they drop. Anatomy moves to the bass that pounds, and the sound of the percussion is throwing down. And I found that no song is complete without the ample example of the funkiest beat. Bass drum, snare drum, you know you want some rhythm that will move and groove you is the outcome. Get up, don't sit, it's not over yet. Have a musical bit, I wanna see you sweat. Hit the cards with a bullet, and we just begun. You think you're dancing now? Just wait for the outcome.
that I see. My mama, she told me, she said, blow by, blow by, blow by, got to blow by, blow by. A person who is charitable expresses a brotherly love.
We make your body move, we make you try to move, we make your mind think, we make your body sink. Into your chair if you're at work, we know you're doing the jerk. If you stand up, we know you're doing the twerk. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, fellas, you know what time it is. We crank the go-go, we crank the slow, we crank the jazz, we like the bobo, we crank it all. Here on the Peace in the Morning Show. Funky Friday, baby, that's how we do it. You know what we do, we got the Queen. We got Delegate Darrell Barnes, we got Darius Stanton, and we got you on the Peace in the Morning Show. Funky Friday, baby. Come on, crank it up, Ron. Funky Friday, baby. Here we go. Live right here on foxwave.com. 9 a.m. You know what time it is. We make your body move. We make your body move. We make your mind think. We make your body sing. Into your chair if you're at work, we know you're doing the jerk. If you stand, you know what time it is. We make your body move, we make your body move, we make your mind think, we make your body sing. Into your chair if you're at work, we know you're doing the jerk. If you stand up, we know you're doing the twerk. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, fellas, you know what time it is. We crank the go-go, we crank the slow, we crank the jazz, we like the bobo, we crank it all. We on the Peace in the Morning Show. Funky Friday, baby, that's how we do it. You know what we do. We got the Queen. We got Delegate Darrell Barnes, we got Darius Stanton, and we got you on the Peace in the Morning Show. Funky Friday, baby. Come on, bring it on,
we
Ron.
used to sit in a government yard in Trenchtown.
And I can pass the test. If you get down with the rappers from the east to west, this party please, that party please. I'll funk them all with the greatest of these. This DJ Rock with the masterpiece. If the book getting the sound that moves your feet. Somebody say, get up, get up. Somebody say, get up, get up. You party good, you throwing down, you compliment this funky sound. The funk is here, so you can groove. We want to make your body move. And that brother there, his name is Dyke. He's gonna hit you with the rest so you can boogie tonight. I say downtown shopping with some fashion in mind. Just listen here closely while I tell you my life. I'm Snake Dyke, can be very naughty. I'm known by the name of Spalding Show. And when checking out the others that dress so mean, they put me in the mind and with Mr. Garney. But Calvin Klein seems to come through until East Sailor Red walks into the GQ. But that's not it, they still want more. So I send them down to Studio 54. Say Jordash, Born, show you see in Sassoons. I've got the jeans that make the tune. Can you smile any style from our profile? It doesn't work a bit of how can I do that? And it's cool, acting just like a jerk. But all we want to see is your body work. Work your body, work your body, work your body. Work your body, work your body, work your body, work your body. Work your body, work your body, work your body.
All the way. Come on, y'all. Funky Friday. Pump, 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 pump me up. Yeah, what's up with that drum? You want to hear something else? Call us at 240-719-2562. We got pumping today. We got Mr. Merlin 2018. The It's green right now, but we gonna make it happen. Come on. What y'all doing this morning? Let's go work, baby. Let's go to work. Come on now.
Like clarinet, they gon' solve the case. You just listen to the sound of the funky bass. Like little boy blue, come blow your horn. They gonna boogie on it down to the break of dawn. Like a party over here, a party over there. We got a party all in this atmosphere. You just wiggle your neck and stop the beat and boogie on down to the funky beat. Well, they call me Pitch, and that's my name. And funkin' around, it is my game. So funky's in the thing, you gotta have what it takes. And if you can't funk, then no time to wait. So L some squares, you better get live, cause everybody's trying to get funk by time. And this is what you need, and that's a fact. And with this, you don't need no white time. So if you're out to lunch, just take a hunch and boogie on down with the rest of the fun. You should be bumping your behind all in the air, all over the world, just everywhere. And if you're on the dance floor, and if you can't hang, just sit on down and let us shake our thing. And if you're still sitting down and can't shake you up, holla, pop, 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 pop me up. Shake that thing, shake that thing. You got to shake that thing. You got to shake that thing, shake that thing. You got to shake that thing. Everybody go. Shake that thing, shake that thing. Hold it on up, hold it on up. Shake that thing, shake that thing. You got to shake that thing. I'ma put you on down, on the one, so we can all get together and have some fun. I'm Killer here, and I'm Killer there. I'm telling you now. Like Einstein, the mastermind, all the women thought that he was shot. Like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, they never miss a beat, they're right on time. Like Fat Albert when you wanna eat, it takes a lot of focus to get him out of his seat. When the gang is down at the junkyard, dumb Fat Albert and eat into the boogie of the book. Like Tarzan and Jane, they'll dance to the beat, and Boy and Cheat, they'll stop on the feet. If you're still sitting down and you can't get up, holler, pop, 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 pop me up.
All right. Peace in the morning. Welcome to the Peace in the Morning show. This is Darius Stanton live right here at www.voxwave.com. And I'm here with the one and only super duper out of sight, my mother. I always love my mama. She's my favorite girl. Queen out to the world. What's up, baby?
I'm Darius, sweetie.
Oh, Lord, you my mama, baby. You
I'm
can't
your
be my
sweetie,
sweetie
daddy.
and my mom. You want to be my
I'm your
sweetie and my
sweetie.
mom? Okay, but it's
I'm
sweetie
your
mama,
sweetie.
sweetie mama, sweetie baby.
Mommy.
Hey, listen, so you know we always like to put that good news out there. This is an asset-based communications program, and we focus on lifting people to the next level, giving you information. That's why later on in the show you're going to hear from some brothers from Annapolis, Maryland, who are talking about home ownership, how to establish your own home. You know, to be able to transfer wealth, it must be through several ways, and one of those ways is home ownership, to be able to pass that wealth down from one generation to another. In addition to that, you're going to hear from a candidate for Miss Maryland. But not only is this young lady a candidate for Miss Maryland, she's already Miss Maryland in a number of other facets. Miss Charnell Fergusen is coming to the show, and we are so excited because she runs this, she runs that, she does this, she does that. She's in charge, and she is a beautiful sister. So you get a chance to meet her, a Bowie State University Bulldog, as well, right here on the Peace in the Morning show. And of course, we're going to have holistic sexual healing and family lifestyles from the Queen.
And we're going to have a wonderful time because I bought an imaginary dog who always just jumps up. You see that?
What kind of dog is that? We might...
An imaginary dog.
Oh,
Do you
Lord.
see it?
Well, you know we have the Black Panther every other week when we come on the show.
Darius.
So listen, as part of our positive news, because we always promote positive news, there is a new historically black college and university museum that is planted seed on Georgia Avenue. There's a banner hanging at 7610A Georgia Avenue Northwest in Washington, D.C., not too far from Howard University. And the goal is to be able to create a museum there that will host all of the wonderful things and the contributions that historically black colleges, universities, and their students, alum, professors, and presidents have done and made throughout the world. So shout out, hooray, hooray to the new HBCU museum that is on Georgia Avenue and coming to you very soon. Check this out. Did you know that as a result of the movie Hidden Figures, where they showed the women, the African-American women who actually made sure that the the first launch to the moon actually got off of.
Accurate figures.
And those
Most
women
accurate figures.
now have actually a baby doll. Barbie doll. Barbie has created a Hidden Figures doll. Now, people went, what's the big deal about a baby doll? Well, children play with baby dolls. But in most cases, what do we see? A little feedback in the back.
European doll babies.
Exactly. So we don't see dolls that look like us.
They're there, though. I just want to say before we jump off on there, if you don't mind, there are people who are making black dolls. I wrote up a package for black dolls for people before. A lot of women are so beautiful, but they're afraid to step out on faith. I've never seen anything like it. They spend a lot of time in the mirror preparing themselves to go out. But you wouldn't spend that time preparing a doll baby that would look like you for other girls to have. Because I think, for example, this young lady or someone who's going into a medical profession, make your doll. That should be the first thing you do, is have a little protege of your doll. If your doll is a doctor or a nurse, have her uniforms. So children will get dolls with the uniform already on. The doctor, the nurse, the stethoscope, the little tools and equipment, the doctor bag. If they're an executive, they have a briefcase. They have little tablets, you see. They have an office. If you put these things in front of children early, like we did when we were small, we had a bakery set. So I'm a very good cook. I started baking at 3, really 2.5, in my bakery set oven, you know, and mix up. Your parents give you a little flour and thing to mix up.
So you cook Thanksgiving dinner at 3?
I cook Thanksgiving dinner at 7.
Oh, okay.
But I was
was
getting
in
my
there somewhere.
preliminary practice
Okay.
through the bakery set.
Right.
So I'm saying that whatever the field you're in, automatically you should create a doll.
That's right. And
You
there's
shouldn't leave that industry to Barbie.
And there's
That's
so
my
many
point.
people that are, as you said, that are out there doing that and promoting. And so you have to look, you know, the same way you go online and you search for those Jordans that you want or those Nike Airs or whatever pocketbook or book that you want. Go look for things that represent and support you, that make you proud to be who you are, which is why we love Black Panther, because it made people who never ever embraced themselves as African people before now love themselves Wakanda style. Speaking of Wakanda style,
I
how about
love it.
some Yoruba swag. As we celebrate International Women's Day, Women's Month, Sister Tome Adeyemi of Yoruba created a book that is now, guess what, a 7-figure book deal. It's all over the market. You got to go pull her up. Her name is spelled T-O-M-I-A-D. That's the first name, T-O-M-I, Tomi, Adeyemi, A-D-E-Y-E-M-I. Adeyemi. Look her up. All right, look her up. Go ahead and do your research, find out what this young lady is working on, and support her. It's so important for us to support those who support us. So on that note, I do want to close before we bring on our beautiful sister and change to some funky music on the Peace in the Morning show with the fact that we want to continue to support. Do you know right now in Puerto Rico, still, those stores that are not open, some have, but some are not open, those folks at Marshalls and TJ Maxx are still paying their employees. As a result of that, we suggest that when you go out and shop, when you go spend your dollars,
Go there.
Go support those companies that are
Go
supporting
there.
our communities. If they have taken their profits and putting it into families who can't afford, who can't go to work because they don't have electricity, the store's not open, but they still paying them, come on. So go out and start shop and support Marshalls and TJ Maxx. Those companies are together, owned by TJ Maxx brand. And so we shout out to them and support them. Ron, we're going to crank it up. When we come back, you're going to see none other than our future, our today, Miss Charnell Ferguson on the Peace in the Morning show. Kick it!
Don't touch that stereo.
Well, we are back, and I'm excited because this young lady is doing it. You know, we have a lot of young people that are out there doing it. Good brother in Annapolis, Maryland, named D. Ward, out there doing it. There's some young people in Chicago that are out there on the corners at night. You know, people talk about what about black on black crime, who's addressing that, who's addressing the violence. There are young people in Chicago, high school and college age young people that are out there on the corners working to stop the violence that's taking place in Chicago, right? There's some brothers in Baltimore City, Lamontre Randall, Rashad Staten, DeJuan Patterson, and others, Charnell England, that are out there in the community working with young people, working with children, working with adults, working with the mayor. They're doing it. They're not talking about it. They're not looking for Facebook time. They're actually doing the work. And so you want to support those and pump those up that are doing things in our community, who are not looking for any external award except for to see our families and our communities thrive. So speaking of which, we are here now with none other than Miss Charnell Fergusen. Welcome to the Peace in the Morning Show.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity.
All right. So tell us all about you, because you're involved in so many different things. You're running for something. We're going to talk about that, in a little bit. But tell us about Miss Charnell Fergusen.
I'm Charnell Fergusen. I have a passion to serve my community because I feel it's my purpose. I do a lot of activism with the state NAACP Youth and College Division, so that came from me wanting to make a difference in my community.
Are you the chair of that?
I'm actually the president of the state conference.
President, okay.
Yes,
Madam
I
President.
also attend Bowie State University. Out of 600 people, I was one of those 45 that get chosen for the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation. So I had the opportunity to serve during the summer in Representative John Conyers' office.
Excellent.
So I was able to be with people who went to Yale and Harvard. So that was very inspiring to me, and that was life-changing.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So tell us about your own organization. I understand that I know that you have an organization that you started yourself as well.
Yes, I have a nonprofit organization called the Diamond Foundation, Inc. It's a 501c3. Most importantly, it's a value around my life. I suffered with depression as a youth, so just making people aware of that youth and that depression and what they're going through, but also giving back to the community. So I've partnered with the District 3 Police Department, and I was able to hold a book bag drive where I gave away 300 book bags filled with school supplies to the kids in Palmer Park.
How many?
300 book bags filled with school supplies.
And you didn't just do it alone. You had some support. Some of the other young ladies with you, right? You had a group, an organization. It was just you.
Just me.
Whoa, let's get a sister a hand. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All pumped up.
And my second event was also the coat drive. I was able to give away 90 coats and scarves for the kids in the community.
Now, are there young people that are out here literally, did you find there were young people who did not actually have coats? What made you do that? Did you just do it because you thought it would be something good to do, or you actually knew that there were children walking around without coats on in the winter?
So I'm actually from Landover.
Okay.
So just to give back, I feel like it's my duty and my purpose. I feel that's what makes me happy, seeing other people happy. It's the best joy that I could ever see, and it's greatness.
You see that smile when you see that, you feel that energy?
Beautiful. You're young, and you have that type of concern, consideration, and compassion. That is paramount to what it takes to be a successful leader. When you're considerate of other people, whether you know them or not.
Yes.
You care about their needs.
Yes.
When you're compassionate and you show love and kindness to people and respect, they feel that.
Yes.
And they feel the warmth. They can feel that you're for real. That's not something that you're playing with, but that you're actually a part of that sensation that you're bringing to them. You see, emotion is very powerful. When you stir up emotion in people, you get them involved. A person says, I have a passion for something. How come other people don't feel their passion? Because there's no emotion. Yes. But when you have emotion, people feel you. And they want to be a part of that. You establish camaraderie, not only with the people that you're giving your love and compassion to, but also for yourself, people bring it back to you. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Do you have an experience that you want to tell us about like that?
I could honestly say a lot of parents have thanked me for, the coats and the gloves, and I saw the kids that were able to actually, just to see, I love being around kids because they have a pure spirit and they're not so set in their ways. They're able to change and able to receive, more so open. So I just appreciate seeing the kids, and the parents thank me. So that means my work is going to good use.
That's beautiful.
So tell us about this campaign that you're now embarking upon. You have a campaign that is nationwide that you now joined and are part of. Tell us about it.
Yeah,
Please.
so my campaign, I'll be running for Miss Black America 2018.
Whoa.
So that was a huge leap for me. I say I grow the most when I'm out of my comfort zone. So from my activism and my platform, my community, I knew that this would be the right decision. Everybody thought I was going to run for elected office. I knew that, but I said, no, I'm going to serve my purpose and let these youth know that the image of Black people, we're here and we're beautiful, just to give them that inspiration, and we're intelligent, and just to see, to inspire those youth. And my platform will be mental health, so I'll always be raising awareness on that.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Congratulations.
Thank
That is
you.
awesome. So what is, I love the fact that you said people expected you to, well, no, let me jump back. Your greatest growth comes out of you going outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, that
That is powerful. To be able to come from a young lady, as young as yourself, and I want to make a point. People get caught up on age, but maturity and preparedness really starts at, like my mother said, at the 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old. Once you get to a point where you can read, you can comprehend, you can communicate, and you can rationalize, and you can think critically, you're already in the trajectory of leading. And to hear you say that is so powerful. What's your platform? What are you focused on as being Miss Black America?
So Miss Black America, my platform, I specifically will be the mental health and how youth have suffered with depression, such as myself, and giving those that courage and that inspiration to show them that I went through this and you can do this too. You can be just like me. So inspiring those youth, and I'll always continue as long as I live to give back to my community. So that's my pledge to the society, to always better the society. Yesterday we had HBCU night, and I was able to speak on that, and it was just insulting, to know that they try to give us a settlement of such low amounts. So I also intern at the State House.
Okay.
So with me knowing how things work, I have to also be on the inside and the outside, so I can get the best feel of how to create solution-oriented goals with progress. So that's my goal in life, and to combine that with service. So as long as I'm here, I will commit my life to service and servicing the people.
Wonderful.
You're young and you know that already.
Yes.
That's powerful.
So how do we support you? How can people support your efforts, not only what you're doing in the community, but specifically right now, let's propel you, because we want you on that national stage so you can promote mental health and let young people know that. How can we support you?
So to support me, I started a campaign on GoFundMe. So it's Charnell for Miss Black America 2018. I also just did a website. So it's www.diamondfoundationinc.com. And you will also see me on Facebook. You guys can follow me as Charnell Fergusen. So it's Charnell, last name Ferguson, Ferguson. So y'all can support me, not only monetary, but just follow me on Facebook. That's all I ask. Or just retweeting whatever I tweet, or just bringing that awareness. You all can be supportive in that measure as well.
That's right. Give us some hearts right now, so when people pull it up on Facebook, they'll get a chance to see this particular part of the show, because they will know. So pump it up, give us some hearts, let her know you love her. Give us your your website again, please.
So it's www.diamondfoundationinc.com.
Okay, and in addition to that, give them your Facebook page so they can go to your GoFundMe account and support you financially, please.
Okay, so my Facebook is Charnell Ferguson, so Charnell, last name Ferguson, Ferguson.
And I want to, as we close, thank you. As we close, I just want to touch on the fact that you're a phenomenal representative for women of all colors. you know. But also, since you are in the leadership realm with regard to youth, tell us how you were inspired by the young people who marched and left class in the walkout throughout the entire country addressing gun violence.
So I really appreciate the notoriety that they've been getting and the boldness that it takes to be involved in that activism to show that we as young people do have a voice, and that also we can elect people that share our same views and values, and we can shape the future generation of leaders.
I want to ask you a question. And I know that you said you were thinking, or people were assuming that you would run for a political office, but you decided to do something else. My feelings on that are, yes, it's important to show that we as black women are naturally beautiful and we can achieve things with all of our clothes on. And we don't have to put chemicals in our skin to look lighter. That melanin is so powerful. Being dark is even more powerful than people would assume, because you attract power. It's out of the dark comes the light, not the other way around. And I say that to you to say that you are being followed by so many young people, young girls who esteem to mimic you in some way, form, or fashion. As people are going into politics, don't you find that something's missing on training young people, even younger than yourselves, on how to vote? The whole voting process, who to vote for, how do you know that person is a good person to vote for? And what type of training would you suggest young people get to get into the voting arena? That's the only question I really want to get an answer. As a young person who's already in leadership.
That's a great question. I would say that voter registration and voter education, and also being involved in going to these community forums. But also I do a lot of mentorship, so I would be open to mentoring people on the political activism and that spectrum of change. So if they need any help or guidance, I'm open. But I just want to say that remember that you always have a voice, and they fear us for a specific reason. That's because they know we're capable of achieving our greatest self, and we have the power to do all things.
Well, hey, I tell you, as I said, you know, this is our Miss Black Maryland, because she's already running things, projects, organizations, and you have represented yourself very well this morning. We're very proud of you. God bless you. Continue to lift up your family. Thank you for being so humble. Thank you for always promoting other people and not just focused on I and the ego, but focused on the work and doing the work.
The we and the us.
So as we close, please share one more time your Facebook page so people can support you on GoFundMe. Please support this young lady.
So my Facebook is Charnell, Charnell. Last name Ferguson, Ferguson. And my GoFundMe is Charnell for Miss Black America.
Excellent.
So the 4 is not the number 4, it's FOR.
FOR. All right.
Beautiful, thank you.
So we're going to crank it up, but when we come back, hey, that was that dynamic? I mean, That
was Diamond.
That was Diamond.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
And also, that's my middle name. So that's what my foundation is named.
That's a knowledge stone.
Hey, I like it.
Diamond.
All right, well, listen,
Beautiful.
ladies and gentlemen, you heard it right here. Miss Black America 2018.
Give me some of your power.
Charnell Ferguson,
Thank
president of the state NAACP, as well as, are you still the president of Bowie State University as well?
Yes, I actually reestablished that chapter as well.
Wow.
That's how I started.
President at Bowie State, president at the state level.
Multitasking.
This sister's doing it and giving coats away, as well as making sure children had school supplies on the way back. Miss Charnell Ferguson, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Peace and love.
No doubt about it. Young, gifted, and black. Yeah. So listen, we're going to come on back. We ready to crank it up, Ron?
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Funky Friday, baby. Yeah, in the studio. Come on.
Policeman is on the premises. What is he doing in here? I said the policeman is on the premises, y'all. What is he doing in here? The policeman is on the premises, yo. What is he doing in here? The policeman on the premises. What the hell is he doing in here? Mowing your hand against the store, making a function behind the door.
VoxWave.com.
We have your favorite shows on VoxWave.com. Check out our lineup. The Kim Show, Mondays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. In the End We Win with Curtis, Mondays, 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. Cooking with Flavors with your host, Chef Flavors, Tuesdays, 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Slick Daddy Rick, Heartbeat Congo Hour, Tuesday, 8 to 10 p.m. Impact the World Radio TV Show with Cheryl Woods, Wednesday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. The Digital Digest with your host, Digital Ace, Wednesdays, 3 to 5 p.m. Live Set Wednesdays with your host, Frank Dent, Wednesdays, 8 to 9 p.m. The BGKH Show with your hosts, Dominion and Epic, Wednesdays, 9:15 to 10:15 p.m. You, Math, and Me with George Randall, Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Then, on Thursdays at 5:30 p.m., The Prayer, Praise, and Deliverance with Elder Thurman Gorman Jr., The 640 Evening Show, Thursdays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., The Peace in the Morning Show with your host, Darius A. Stanton, co-host, Delicate Daryl Barnes, and Queen Ayakidobi, Fridays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., The Hall Street Journal with your host, Robert Hall, and co-host Clarence Sanders, Fridays, 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Frank, The Success Principles, Friday, 12 noon to 1 p.m. Charnell's 3 Cents, Friday, 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. The Daryl Allen Harrison II Crime Victims Foundation Show, hosted by Daryl Harrison II, every Friday from 3 to 4:30 p.m. The Rush Hour with DJ Drew and Janique, every Friday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Different Minds Show, hosted by DJ Bam 640 and DJ Andre Michael, and your co-host, MC Fran, every Friday, 9:15 p.m. to 11:15 p.m. The Healer Blues Show, with host Ron Jackson, every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Hour of Power, with your host, Reverend Winters Rogers, every Saturday, 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And again, The Prayer, Praise, and Deliverance with Elder Thurman Gorman Jr., Saturday, 11 p.m. to 12 p.m. And don't forget Four Sisters Live Talk, Saturday at 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. Turning dreams into reality talk show with your host, Tashika L. Green, every second Saturday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Walk in Newness 24/7 with Missionary Antoinette, Saturdays, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. News, ULM, news and analysis, information, sports, and black history with your news anchor, Roderick Carter Willis, 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Step your game up with the Youth Project, hosted by DJ Main and DJ Low Hefe, Saturday, 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And don't miss The To Go Show with Kim Brown, Saturdays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. I Am Dr. Sharon Show, each Sunday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., featuring The Grind, Entrepreneur Network Spotlight, and Write the Book Now. The Riri Williams Show, Fashion and Style Hour, every first Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. Real Talk 101, Sundays 6 to 8 p.m. And every third Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m., the Third Sunday Tea Talk Show with Dr. Akita Pearson. Gospel Live TV Show with host Gloria Mello, each Sunday from 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. Listen to all your favorite shows on VoxWave.com.
VoxWave.com.
VoxWave.com, streaming your favorite jazz, blues, and R&B 24/7.
We're back. Welcome to the Peace in the Morning Show. This is Darius A. Stanton with Queen Ayasudabe. We just had the dynamic Miss Charnell Ferguson, who is running
Beautiful
for
sister.
Miss Black America 2018. And if you heard that young lady today, she really took us to school. She took us to temple. She took us to church. She took us around the world and and loving it. So, let's give her sister another big round of applause. And she's focusing on a very important platform, which is mental health and depression. and letting young people know that they can work through that depression and come to a higher life, because she said we can see our true and better self. So I'm excited this morning to have these good brothers on the show. I've been knowing them since, we were growing up, and they're from my hometown, Annapolis, Maryland. Mr. Aaron Ike Owens, welcome to the show, brother.
Sir. Thanks for having us.
No doubt. And if you want to see the show in full-fledged, instead of just from social media, check us out at www.voxwave.com. That's www.voxwave.com. That's www.voxwave.com. And also joining us is the good brother David Stansbury. Our good brother, peace and love. Welcome to the Peace in the Morning Show.
Thank you for having me.
No doubt about it. So listen, David, I got to thank you, man, because we have been doing the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King City of Annapolis parade now for the last 4 years. And 3 out of those 4 years, Remnant and your church, but you personally have made sure that we always had sound, and not just a parade, but a concert. So I want to publicly thank you on behalf of the city of Annapolis, the state of Maryland, which is the capital of Maryland, for donating your time, your energy, your money, and your equipment in the freezing cold, because it is freezing cold on January 15th, and we are outside for at least 4 hours strong. And the brother's always there, so thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
Beautiful. And the name Stansbury, your grandfather was a giant in our community, Bishop Stansbury, as he later became. But he really helped me a lot as a young person coming into the work that I was doing. So on behalf of Gerald, Stan, still supporting your whole family, man. They've been big supporters of our family. And so I really appreciate you, man, on behalf of our family to yours.
You're all school. We all went to school together.
That's right. A lot of history there.
Yeah,
A lot of history.
Beautiful. It's
So
beautiful to sit with you.
So let's get down to business. Brother Aaron, tell us about your business, man, and what you're doing in terms of, your organization, your company, what you started, what made you go into the whole business piece.
So our company is a Arundel Insurance Group. We're based out of Arnold, Maryland. And basically, we want to give back to the community. We want to help 100 families secure their legacy and build wealth in the process. I think that just listening to the young lady, her dynamic speech, I think we become comfortable being uncomfortable. And there's so many things that we can do. And when I think about the Black History celebration at Stanton Center,
right?
It's a beautiful thing. And I think that I was talking to Dave, and I said one of the things we got to get more involved, because the history is a great thing, but if we're going to build and grow our community, we got to get our financials in order.
That's right.
And like you said, with the home buying, so much I get jitters when I think about what we can do if we put our legacy and take care. There's homes, and we had so much land. Like you speak about Annapolis, downtown Annapolis. Our community owned that.
That's
when
right.
you think about the Browns Woods, the Mulberry Hills,
Right.
downtown Baltimore with Deshaun them.
Exactly.
Yeah, Lamontre, I know them guys.
Right.
I'm familiar with them.
Right.
We own those areas, and for whatever reason, we weren't trained to keep it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that life insurance, home ownership, is the first way that we can secure a legacy and build wealth in our community, and we're not prepared in that way. So I want to give that information. Me and David put that information out there so that people know, and we can protect our legacy and grow it.
Now, to support your point, there is a recent study it's been publicized, pretty widely, and it shows in the last 50 years, the only gain that we've made in the terms of finance, in terms of criminal justice, in terms of home ownership, in terms of health, is education. It's the only one where we've made gains in 50 years. And so that speaks to your point, number one, because we understand that wealth is transferred through home ownership, one of the ways that it's transferred. Insurance is another way that it's transferred. And so if we're not prepared by, first of all, understanding the value of keeping your family's property, keeping your family's home, even if there comes a time when you need to sell it for another gain or to help support the family, whether it's an illness, whether it's whatever it is.
Whatever, yeah.
But you have that resource. Right. You know, and all of those properties that were lost, and it's happened all over the place. And people look for that quick dollar. I can sell that property, I can get that cash, and then they're going to go spend it. Because you also saw the other study that says black people have amassed a spending power of $1.2 trillion.
Right. Well, one of the things, the important thing that you said is like, we gained in education, you know, and people say knowledge is power. To me, that's partially right. I believe applied knowledge is power. So, because if you have the knowledge and you're not applying it, it's just information. And I think that we got to try to teach people how to apply the knowledge that because you got Google, you got all these programs where the information is available. It's the willingness to go get the information now. It's not one time if we try to read a book, you know what happened to us.
You were killed.
Right. So now that we got access to the books, people choose other means. You know, and one of my platforms is education over entertainment. You know what I mean? We got power, we got empire, we got love and hip hop, and we ain't got none of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If we take that information, try to read a book, get that information, and apply it, then we can move to the next level. And that's one of the things I'm so passionate about is getting the information out and hoping people will apply the information because, you know, I can show you on my calculator, I don't know if you looked at them. If you take a child and, you know, the S&P, right?
Sure.
You know, it's done 8 to 12% for the last 70 years.
For the folks who don't know,
Standard & Poor's,
right.
like the stock market, right?
Okay.
They have mutual funds. They have ETFs that follow the S&P. So S&P go up, go down. So over the last 70 years, it's averaged 8 to 12%. If you got 10% on your money, just in a simple fund, and you put $20 a month from the age 2 to 60, you'll be a millionaire. And you know, there's also studies that say most people in retirement don't have $600 to $500 in case of emergency. You know, so it's just a matter of how we choose to position our finances and make things happen. And I just want to keep educating and putting the information out, and just I'm excited about it. You know what I mean? It makes me jittered to know that because I didn't have the information. My parents worked and came home, and took care of it and provided.
Right.
But I had to seek the information. And now that I'm gaining the information, I want to give it to our people.
Right. Right.
Is it? Can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it fair to say that in the process of your training and teaching, sharing information about housing and investing, that people also learn money management should be a way of life?
Yes. I think that it should be taught in schools. I think that finances should be a way of life because we are taught to be consumers. You know, even through school.
Everything.
You know, we're not taught to be entrepreneurs. We're not taught to own businesses. You know, this young lady starting a business, that's powerful because you become the own. You know, people are afraid to make decisions that are going to empower them. You know what I'm saying? Like, in order to be a boss and bet on yourself, most people won't bet on themselves. And I think if you do that, you know, you'll get up and go to work for somebody else, but you have the ability to create your own income if you get up and work for yourself.
That's right.
And it goes back to being comfortable, being uncomfortable. People complain year after year like, oh, they're not paying me enough. But you're worth much more. You're never going to get what you're worth.
Not to cut you off, but what I'm talking about is financial management as a way of life, that if we teach it at an early age, not only will we be able to secure land, but we'll better know how to invest our money to help ourselves and our community. Because I think that's what's really missing in home buying. People are buying homes, and then within 2, 3 years, 8 years, they're coming out of the home because they manage the money so poorly.
Well, let me do this. Let me ask David to share with us about your home buying seminar and what you're going to teach at that workshop, and you know that may shed some light on the subject.
This is the about what our third one we've done. We do one about every year, at least one. So we're going to have somebody there speaking about credit restoration and getting your credit together to get prepared to buy the home. We're going to have a mortgage professional there. Aaron and ourselves will be talking about legacy building and life insurance and that sort of thing, which is very important in our community. Am I missing anything, Aaron? I think that's pretty much all we're gonna cover for the home.
Yeah, mortgage programs.
First-time home buyers, just because most people don't think it's within reach, but it is within reach. You know what I mean? Some people scared to even to start looking like, oh, I can't afford, but you can most likely.
Well, and you know the other part that happens. I remember when I was 22 years old, I started looking for a home, and I went through the process, identified a townhome, started going through it, submitted my paperwork to the bank, and they like 2 or 3 times, almost 4 times, came back to me and was like, we need more information. The same information I gave them, they kept asking me for it. And guess what? I got frustrated, and I stopped doing it.
Right.
You know, but what we have to learn how to do, you know, fortunately, you know, I'm a homeowner now. We are a homeowner, my wife and I. But fortunately, what we have to learn how to do is we have to learn how to finish the process.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the other things that we fall short of often is not finishing the process, not going through, whether it's finishing and completing school, whether it's finishing and completing a project that you start. Even if you fall off, and go back to it. You know, let people know I fell off, I made a mistake, but I'm back, and I'm going to finish it. And you know, one of the things that we want to make sure people know is how important, as Mom talked about, and we got to roll because we got to hit the holistic sexual healing section, but how important it is for us to have financial literacy skills.
And let me get about 30 seconds on that.
Sure.
What you talked about, if most people buying a home, right? You're asking for $200,000, $300,000, right?
Right.
So if you could get that from a neighbor or your friend, it would be that easy. Just imagine if you're going out here and financing a home, you're asking the bank to give you $300,000, $400,000.
Right.
Don't you think they deserve to get some information from you? Don't you think they deserve to get bank statements and pay stubs and things like that?
Something to solidify that you can pay them back.
That you can pay them back. So, you know, people change jobs. So if you started the process 30 days ago and they say it's 6 months into the process of finding a home, they might want to say, can I have updated bank statements? Can I have updated pay stubs? Just to make sure you're still in that same position that you were when you get it. So getting frustrated, a lot of people will. You know, I used to be a mortgage broker too.
Right.
So I had to explain that. If you could just go to your neighbor and get $400,000,
Right.
it wouldn't be a problem. Or if you just had it sitting under your bed.
Right.
You know what I mean? But even if your mother loaned you $400,000, she gonna want to know some things gonna get paid back. So I think that's the process that we got to get people to understand in this process, and that's some of the stuff that we teach people.
So give us the dates, please, on the
Yes. So it's actually
location.
Monday, March 19th, 5:45 to 7:45. We're at the Base Legacy Center, 1101 Smithfield Street, Annapolis, Maryland. We get started at 5:45. We'll have some food there.
Free food too.
Free food. That's one of the things we want to emphasize. This is a free program with free food. There's drinks. It's not alcohol, but it's drinks. You know, so you can have. You know, you're gonna be able to eat, be comfortable, and it's going to be dynamic information to help our people grow and build wealth in their community and protect their legacy.
And can I make a confession before we go? When I was younger, I thought the Stanton Center was owned by you and your family.
Well, I never thought it was tied. I didn't even know people even thought there was a connection. I used to work for the mayor, and they'd be like, where your office around Stanton Center? And I had no idea.
I wasn't the only one.
No, not at all, you know. But we're glad that it's associated with something positive. That's definitely for sure.
You guys do great.
We really appreciate that. So, Brother Aaron,
thank you very much.
Thank you, brother. You brought a wealth of information, knowledge to the table.
Thank you, man.
Brother Stansbury, excuse me, Mom.
That's beautiful. I love it. I love it.
So check them
Stay
out
right
this
there.
coming Monday, March 19th, and give us a number that they can reach you on.
You can call us at the office, 410-757-7848. That's 410-757-7848. Also on Facebook, Instagram at Arundel Insurance Group. That's Arundel Insurance Group on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and www.arundelinsuranceGroup.com. Reach out. We definitely, want to serve and help our community. How many families we looking to serve?
Awesome. And they provide insurance and renters insurance. Look it up. Go understand why it's important to have, insurance and be able to look at those things, even at a small rate, because it can have such a great impact in terms of protecting your valuables and things of that nature. You'll be surprised. Just putting $20 a month on renter's insurance. If something happens to your property, that your homeowners, that they're not going to take, they might be their fault, but you will be covered. So it's a lot of things out there, a lot of information. Reach out to these brothers at the Arundel Insurance Group. Aaron, Ike Owens, David Stansbury, thanks so much for joining us on the Peace in the Morning Show. When we come back, we're going to funk it up, close it out with the holistic sexual healing and family lifestyles with the queen, if you know what I mean. Kick it. All right, we're back live with www.boxwave.com. This is Darius A. Stanton on the Peace in the Morning Show. Brother, sit down, get up, sit down, get up. You know it's Black Panther, baby.
Man.
Black Panther, baby. That's right. Those brothers we just had on the show, Aaron Ike Owens and David Stansbury, still on the set with us, you know, brought some very valuable information to the table, and we want to make sure that we are in a position to support our young people. And now, in our families and communities, they pass on that wealth. You know, don't be in such a hurry to spend. Be in a position to move. All right, and now the queen, ladies and gentlemen, holistic sexual healing and family lifestyles. It's our time to shine. Queen, take it away.
I mean, it's like walk right in, young lady, see the monkey climb the greasy pole, the higher climb the plane, you see him, hold tight, monkey, don't you fall. Hey, little girl, don't you step on that cow. Shame on you, and don't eat a hot dog. Do not give your children hot dogs. Stop giving your children hot dogs. Stop buying hot dogs. Why am I saying that? Well, let's see what's in a hot dog. Peace and love, I'm Queen Aya Suda, but they call me Aya Fire because I'm so hot, yeah. Carcass trim from cattle and pigs is in the hot dog, including the cheeks and the jawbone, the tongue, the lips, the gums, the eyelids, the heart, the intestines. Oh, don't forget the ears and the nostrils. How about the tail and the snout? Don't forget the tendons and the windpipes. How about the liver and the kidney? How about a little salt to go on the bones with the blood fat? And don't forget all the different kind of chemical preservatives. Get your hot dog. We have been killing our communities with hot dogs, with hamburgers, cheeseburgers. You have nothing inside the human system that can melt cheese. So what are we doing? When I hear everyone talking about buying a house, running for Miss Black America, I say to myself, yes, we can do all these things when we are healthy. So we have to dig in real quick, and I'll just give you 2 minutes. Hot dogs, all the horrible things in them, why would you give them to your children? Even if you're eating it, why would you feed it to someone else? This gentleman came on and said, if you know better, you do better. Well, people who know the food is poison and keep eating it, what is the mentality on that? So, now, fast foods, if you're a fast food eater, there's 2 things you can do. You can exercise or you can die. Why do I say that? Be positive. Exercise is the positive aspect of a person who just got to eat all the potato chips, all the Fritos, Cheetos, You understand? All the popcorn at the movies, all the butter, and gotta get a big one. Don't forget the extra large pizza with extra cheese and extra sauce. How about the 4 cheese pizzas with extra cheese on the pizza? Okay? People are eating this. They're making sandwiches. They want you to eat meat so badly, they're making sandwiches like a 5-decker. Some sandwiches that they put on the market have been taken off, been banned because they had too many different kind of meats. They had the pork sausage and the bacon and the cheese and the ham. You understand? Too many things. You're feeding people. You're eating it. It's not digesting. It's not digesting. It's not burning the fat. It's burning you, and now it's eating you on the inside. So let's run through real quick some fast foods. Cheeseburger. Oh, my God. A cheeseburger, it's safe to say, 2 cups of fat, ice cream, and 300 calories. You have to work out when you eat a cheeseburger. At least 4 hours. 1 cheeseburger, 4-hour workout. Because it's going to stay in your system and rot and sleep. And then some microscopic bacteria from the cheeseburger, the dead animal, if in fact it really is animal, because the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, just passed a law that now you can eat cloned human meat. And they're slicing that up and looking like steak. So people eating people is getting closer to the dead coming alive, and it's like a horror movie. I say, energize, cleanse yourselves, learn what to eat. Stay away from the things they call fast foods, cheeseburgers, sodas, lots of sugar, lots of carbonated water, lots of poison to the eyes, the membrane, the tissue, okay? The hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, the pineal gland. You're destroying the things in the neurological center, the nervous system. You know, see, you give the children so much sugar they act like they're crazy in school. You put sugar in the cage of the rat, he won't eat it because if you inject him with sugar, he's going to go around and go, bam, knock himself out. You put sugar underneath a bridge, a bag of sugar, rats going by there every day, they're not going to crack that sugar. But people eat what rats won't eat. So we have to wake up and exercise, get the poison out of the body, and start putting things in the body that help to clean it out. Detox. What's another bad, very bad, poisonous fast food is French fries. Greasy, greasy, grease. Grease and blood don't go together. You understand? So it's psychologically making you think you're eating something good when you're really not. That's the fool it does to the brain. It makes you think you're eating well. It's like a person whose house is always dirty and say, come and eat dinner. And you're like, because in their mind, the place is clean. You understand? They're so used to it looking like that, it's normal. They don't understand why you can't sit down with the cat on the table and the food right there. The cat's eating it while you're not eating it. Point intended. If we're not cleaning our outsides, we're accepting the low life on the inside, on the outside to the inside. Okay, we have to clean up on the inside so that we can see better. Another very bad fast food, potato chips. Oh, how about pork skins and pork rinds? Very bad. Glazed donuts. Salad with diced meat, cheese, croutons, all different kind of breads. All these things are bad for you. Salad with fruit, cottage cheese, berries, onions, and some kind of sugary dish. Bad for you. Change the way you care about yourself. Care about yourselves for real. You want a good love life? You don't have to have sex to sexercise. You can just look sexy. Peace in the morning show.
I know that's right. Did you hear that? Fast foods that are taking us out. Hot dogs, leave them alone. Look it up. Look at what's in hot dogs.
No dog, not a dog at all.
Look into it. Don't just take our word for it. Look it up. Go to all the several sources that are out there that show you what is in those foods that we're eating. Make sure you understand what you're passing on to your children in terms of a legacy. So you heard from our good brothers from Arundel Insurance Group, and they've got an event coming up March 19th, Monday, March 19th, 5:45 to 7:45 p.m. That's in Annapolis, Maryland, at 1101 Smithfield Street. Also, you heard from the dynamic Miss Black Maryland Candidate 2018, Miss Charnell Fergusen. So please support that sister. Look her up, Google her. You can find her because she's out there doing work in the community. Charnell, Charnell. That's a double L at the end. Ring my L. And then in addition to that, Fergusen. Look her up. She needs your support. We want to support people that support us. So thank you so much for being here. The Bates Legacy Dinner coming up April 22nd. That's my birthday. Did you know that?
Solar return.
Hey, we pumping it up, baby. You ready to throw that?
Darius,
Ready to go down? We about to take it to the next level. Take it to the next level. Take it to the next level.
Can I use your birthday to have a party for my art? Okay, we talk about after shows.
No doubt about it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on the Peace in the Morning show. We'll give this peaceful moment. Take time out and speak to somebody that you see on the street today. Don't just walk by them. Give them a smile. Give them a prayer.
Have a conversation.
Give them a conversation. And let people know that you care. There are so many people out here who are hungry, who are homeless, who have no place to go and no one to turn to. A smile and a warm embrace, a handshake, anything that you can give to let them know that you care is going to make all the difference in the world. But the prayer in the midst of that storm will help them go so far. Don't turn your back, don't turn your head. Smile and look at those people. Because God knows the shoe can be on the other foot. And how would you feel if you were on the other side of the day? This is Darius Stanton with our motivational moment saying, peace in the morning. It's Funky Friday, baby. Love you so much. Thanks for joining us. See us at that same black time, same black channel next week. Funky Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your time to shine. Peace in the morning.